Hi everyone, it's me, Rachel, and welcome to the January, February, and March wrap-up. The reason why I didn't do wrap-ups separately in January and February is because I didn't read much. To be honest, I've read a few books, but this month I finally read at least twice as much as I have in the last 2 months. So, since I'm filming this like 4 days before the month ends, I probably will end up reading at least 1 or 2 books more. The reason being is that the one book will actually be an audio book, and it's about 5 hours long, and I usually speed up to time and a half. So that should probably just take me, about 3 hours or so. I have a long car ride tomorrow, so I'm going to get a lot of that done just tomorrow. Then I'm going to be finishing the book that I'm reading on my Kindle probably either tonight or tomorrow, so I'm going to include that because I know that's definite. But the other one I'm not sure is so definite about, but we'll just count that for April. It just seems like a simple way to me to solve that problem. So anyway, let's begin. So in January, I read Joanne Fluke's Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder. I remember that I was not very fond of it. I didn't really like how the author wrote. There was just something really weird about it that didn't make it flow very well. It was my first Hannah Swenson novel, so maybe I should give the other one a try, since a lot of people do like this series, and I want to be convinced that maybe it's just either not for me, or maybe it just takes one more book to get into a series like that. The next one I read was Changeless by Gail Carriger, and this is part of the Parasol Protectorate series. It was excellent. I'm really excited for this next book called Blameless. But the one thing that I hate is how, the authors advance, the love plots like this. I like it to be gradual and draw it out and make it nice and romantic. And this is like, bam, they're married. It's like, come on, let's develop a little bit more here. Because it's very soon that these two characters get married, and it annoys the crap out of me. And it annoys the crap out of me how they behave towards each other, too. I mean, it's kind of hilarious because Alex is, considered the alpha female, so they kind of have that interaction with each other. Trying to be very, very generic with that, just because I don't want to give anything away. Next I read The Winter's Kiss by Marie Rutkowski, and I love this series so much. I'm highly thinking about buying it for my friend for her birthday, buy the whole series for her, because I know that she'll love this book. I love it, I love it, I love it. Even though I didn't really agree with how the author took the story, I didn't really like how Kestrel forgot about Erin, and I honestly think there still was a part of her missing at the end. I kind of feel like she was kind of forced into that type of relationship with him, and she really shouldn't have been, but she kind of felt needed to be in that situation. I don't know if it's just me, but I do love the book. I think I gave it, I forget how many stars I gave it. I gave it a 5-star, okay. So it wasn't that bad, but it's just little tiny things about the plot that bothered me, and whatever. The next book I read was 1984 by George Orwell. This was not the typical read for me. Usually I do stay away from science fiction, and particularly dystopian fiction, because it doesn't appeal to me, but I was urged by quite a few people to read it and give it a try in light of current events. But I went to read it, see what I thought about it, and there are some scary parallels that scare the crap out of me about this book. it got slowed down for me and got very drawn out. This is probably where my reading took a dump, because I just couldn't get through this fast enough. I think it took several bath sessions to get through, and I rated a 3-star. Mostly, I think, because the plot was very well developed. I didn't really like the writing style, per se, and this was not my first George Orwell book. The first book that I read of his, Animal Farm, I did read within a class, so a lot more was explained, and maybe if I had read 1984 in that kind of setting, it would have made more sense to me, and I would have gotten a lot more out of it than what I did. Next up is Scarlet, from the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Excellent. I rated a 5-star. There were some parts where it got a little tiny bit slow, but it quickly picked up afterwards, and it was a fast read. I think maybe it took me a week. Not quite sure. It was excellent. I like how they're developing, how she's developing the characters. I like where the plot's going. I think it's just awesome. But Scarlet's grandmother, I'm so sorry. That's like one little part that pissed me off, because I was kind of imagining her as like a Princess Leia character, and yeah, and that happened, and yeah, not gonna get too into that. But next, I read Fairly Frosted by Jessica Beck, and this was my first novel that I finished for March Mystery Madness. I'm not going to finish a lot of these, just because it took me so long to get through 1984. I ran out of time. I wasn't reading things fast enough. So, Fairly Frosted is actually the second in the Donut Shop Mystery series. I accidentally picked up the second one because I thought it was different, or in a different order than what it was. Here's the book. I forgot I had the books beside me. I did forget to grab the next one. And I'm finished about this. This was really good. I highly recommend it if you like cozy mysteries with a food themed. And there are recipes throughout for different types of donuts. Suzanne's funnel cakes. So, and they're all related to the story. So I thought that was fantastic. I might make some of these donuts sometime, maybe. Next is the Excalibur Murders by J.M.C. Blair. This was a very interesting read. It's another cozy mystery, and it makes things interesting. I have read historical cozy mysteries before, and I think they're excellent. This one plays on, of course, Excalibur being King Arthur, and King Arthur, it's King Arthur's court at Camelot. And Merlin is not the typical wizard that you think. He's actually more of a very scientific sort of person, but everyone thinks he's a wizard, and he reiterates this throughout the book. And I think it's funny. A few people on Goodreads didn't think it was funny that he reiterated it throughout, but that was just part of the comedy. But the thing is, drug out. Some things didn't really make sense, and therefore I read a 3-star. I will be moving on to the next book in the series, which is called The Lancelot Murders, and maybe then on to The Pendragon Murders. They're not short, they're like average sized novels, so I should be able to get through them quickly. I think this one took me maybe 5 to 7 days to finish, so it's not that bad. Next is St. Patrick's Day Murder by Leslie Meier. This was my first Leslie Meier book, and of course I read it because of St. Patrick's Day. I thought that it was very interesting, and I gave it a 5-star. It really plays not much to like the Irish theme or the St. Patrick's Day theme, but it's pretty much just because it was centered around St. Patrick's Day and that there was Irish characters involved, and Tinker's Cove is a very Irish prominent community, so they kind of played on that a lot. As for anything other Irish in here, not so much. You don't get your banshees or anything, which I think if she added a banshee and did like something Scooby-Doo like, it would like make it even better. But I do like how like gruesome. She described things. It was just really interesting how she put this together. And I will be reading more of her books soon. I am so excited about them. Next, finally, it is done. Read it. I gave it, what, a 4-star? 4-star, yes. I am floored with this series. This was such a good series. And I think part of my problem with finishing it was like I became really a part of the story, and I didn't want to let go, and so these past few days I kind of just plowed through it all and just listened to the audiobook. And I think this was not my first audiobook that I listened through totally, but I think it was the second one of this length that I listened through. I'm pretty sure I did Royal Assassin on audiobook, I forget. But honestly, such a long audiobook, and I'm kind of backing myself away from the really long audiobooks because it takes me so dang long to finish, because I don't listen to them at home, I listen to them in my car. So it's the hassle of setting it up, make sure it plays, and praying that no one calls me while it's playing on my phone, because goodness forbid my phone can handle that. So, very interesting. I would highly recommend it. And against my better judgment, I am moving on to the live ship traders next in the Hobb thingy cycle. Hobb novels, that's a good word. But yeah, I will be moving on to the next series. Not this month, maybe next month. And I really, really need to get other books done too. But the reason why I think that I'll probably do better with reading the physical book is it takes me maybe 4 to 5 days to read about 300 pages, and that would be about half the book. So even if this book takes me 2 weeks to read, it'll be a lot faster than listening to the audiobook. So, last but not least, I'm still reading it right now, but I'm counting it towards March because I will definitely be ending it either tonight or tomorrow, and that is Death by Darjeeling by Laura Childs. Phenomenal so far. I have not finished it. I have about a little less than 25% of my ebook to complete, but I highly, highly recommend the Tea Shop Mystery series by Laura Childs. Please pick it up and check it out. And with that, I shall see you next time.